This is Koido again with my 12th episode in my Christmas calendar series for 2023. And this time it will be a bit different. We are actually presenting a new tool most of this episode, but it's presented in the way of the digital implementations, and it's presented so that we can use it in the next few episodes. And that is my digital scope. I of course have another digital or two more digital scopes, but this is a pocket-sized thing that I bought of Amazon over a year ago. So let's get on with this. Yes, it's only digital, and I'm going to try out this. It's a digital oscilloscope, ZEEWEII, and I had this lying now for over a year and I never opened it. And the reason for that is I'm quite satisfied with my ZEEWEII DSO2512G scope, but I actually do have some problems with it, and the most problems I have is with filming, because it's very time consuming to film from the oscilloscope screen as it is now. And that's why I bought this, and this is a 2-canal scope, and I was hoping that I might be able to film with this together without making a video with two sources or have to make fixed images and embed them in the video. So it all depends on what picture quality I can get on this screen, and actually what quality the scope itself has to offer. But I was thinking this as a very nice addition now when I'm doing this December, and this is going to be my 12th episode on December, where I actually try out this oscilloscope and try to watch some waveforms with this to see if it actually works. And I don't know if there is any waveform generator in this scope, but if there is not, I have several options. I have my Unity ZEEWEII functional guarantee that I can use, and I also have some other means of function generators, or we can set up a simple oscillator circuit. So that's what I was going to do today, and as I said, I've never turned this on. I don't know anything more about it than I read in the review, and this was on a 30% off something Amazon deal. It's powered by a USB cable, it looks, by the looks of it. It's a USB-C cable, I think. And there is also some other leads here. Is this power or is it for measurements? I'm not sure. But this looks like something that could fit into these holes here. The probe looks to be about the same quality that I'm used to from middle to cheap Chinese gear. They are 1x or 10x probes, and they do have a fixed earth wire. They don't have any other extra equipment to fit to earth. And this grabbing hook, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I make this as a contrast, this is not a very good hook. This is not either very strong, and it's not very good to grasp. If you try to use this on an IC, you will short out all the legs. So that's not very good. Of course, we can use it on this kind of device that you clamp over the IC, but even then, you won't short out, but you don't have much room to go on. And I have these for for DIL 30 ICs also, so I can of course use these to measure with the scope. And there is a supplied USB cable. This cable expect to be plugged in somewhere, and if I just plug it in a computer, I maybe will get enough juice to power this on. Yeah, it does looks like it powered up. It did show the logo for a very brief moment and then it went on. Frequency 0 kilohertz. And I'm going to fire up the function generator and supply us with a signal. I'm just going to use this. Yeah, this is quite the thick lead, but it will do, and it's not by any means fitted with the right impedances and stuff, so probably it will get a bit distorted. But the worst thing is that if you use thing that is not adapted with the right impedance, you will get the wrong amplitude because you will get the wrong load. But let's just try to connect this up in one manner or another. And now this should be connected. Let's try to see if I can get a sine wave, and I can have channel 1 volt, 1.5 volt peak to peak, and okay. And I can try, this is probably channel 1. This is probably for the trigger operation. Auto. Yes. And there we have a sine wave. It's 14.3 megahertz. I will see what I actually output here. Yes, 14.31 megahertz, so that's right. And if I go sine wave here again, and it's now 1.3 megahertz. Yeah. It's not bad, and this is the placement on the y-axis, and this is placement that way. And it's actually measuring peak to peak about 3 volt, and that is because of the impedance mismatch on this. And if I hit a square wave instead, and a ramp signal or triangle, or this is more like a pulse, and let's go back to the square. I will be able to use this. I think it shows actually quite not a bad signal, and I will introduce this on my trainer. And what we will do in our next episode, and what we are going to test, is that I'm going to take this this flip-flop. I have the 7476, and I'm going to and that is a dual flip-flop. This is number 12 plus 13, because I'm not going to finish this in this episode. But here you have the clock, and you have the J, and you have the K, and you have the clear, and you have the set, and you have the Q, and you have the Q naught. And I'm going to tie both of these high. Then you have the toggle situation, and you have the input here. I'm going to connect to a pulse train like so, and I have the Q, and I'm going to connect this to my next YED K, and this is also the YED and the K, and these are like so. And of course I can take both the clear and the other signals and clamp them up, but I do think that they was active low, and if they was, it won't be a problem. Otherwise I will tie them to ground. And you have the Q and the Q knot here, and here you have the Q, and this is where I'm going to fit my probe 2, and this is where I'm going to fit my probe 1 on the scope. And then we are going to see what we are going to get out of our scope. This is channel 1 and channel 2. Then we are both going to test the scope, and we are going to test this circuit, and we are going to see if we can load this with a TTL compatible signal, because the signal we have now has a too low peak to peak. So I'm going to go in and adjust this on my generator, and I'm also going to use the generator now to test one additional circuit afterwards. So this is what we are going to start with for the December episode 12. This will be what we have today, and tomorrow we are going to put this up on a digital trainer or the breadboard, and we are going to test to see how these circuits actually are, and what implications and what we can do with these circuits afterwards. Yes, we did manage to get in some circuit theory there in the end. Just to not make you confused about this, when I said that I was going to tie the clear and preset low, that was if they was not active low, because a floating input on a gate is normally high, as we have discovered. That's why I said it would work if I didn't tie them up if they were active low, because this circuit as it is will get a high input on both clear and preset if you don't tie them to ground, if you left them floating. But of course it's good practice to tie them high if you are not going to use them. So that's what you should do. But for quick test it doesn't matter much, but in circuits that are in real life operation you should not have floating inputs. That can make noise in your system. So thanks for watching. This was episode 12. Tomorrow we are halfway, and tomorrow it's going to be episode 13. And then we are going to test a clock signal on a ZEEWEII flip-flop and see the result on the oscilloscope.